tuned in to the Zenith. Yo, welcome back. Another episode of the Zenith Podcast, man. We got a special episode today. This is for the ladies today. I need y'all to do 4 things. First, I need y'all to like this video. 2, drop a comment. 3, share the video with all your people. Tell them to come check us out. And then 4th, man, y'all got to subscribe, man, because we got more great interviews and great stories coming out every time we drop an episode. But like I said, today is for the ladies. We got a special guest. She like family to me.
Yes.
And I'm not just, we ain't just got her on here because she's close to me. She got an awesome story. Very inspiring story. One that I'm sure a lot of ladies here, and especially in our generation, can appreciate. I'm honored to introduce y'all my sister, Shamika Bell Bennett.
Yes.
She goes by Bell, but I'm going to call her Shamika, y'all. And her company name is Living Well with Bell. Like I said, man, her story, it's awesome, man. It's a story of perseverance, overcoming, somebody with drive, and this figuring this thing called life out and prospering and growing and becoming just a beautiful example of a black woman in this world we live in. Without further ado, Shamika Bell.
Let's get it. Hey guys, my name is Shamika Bell Bennett. I go by Bell, and I am here today on my brother podcast. I am so excited to share my story, to share with you guys on what I have overcome today.
Yeah. Before we get to the business, because we know you businesswoman to the T. The first segment of this podcast, I call it testimony.
Okay.
We're going to go to church for a second.
Okay.
And we want people to get to know you. So we know we in Atlanta right now, but you hail from Augusta, Georgia. So we want to know what it was like when you coming up in Augusta to get to this point.
Yeah, so definitely I was born 1984 where my 80th baby's at. Let's get it. And just growing up in Augusta, I literally was raised in a single parent household. Well, I like to say, I don't like to say single parent household anymore. A wonderful mother who raised 4 children, right? And she worked very, very hard. I was able to pretty much help her with my brothers by going to school, doing homework. And I also graduated from high school and ended up going to college. So I did all of that while my mom raised 4 beautiful children, never got in trouble. I was actually, I had the highest average in 5th grade. I was in a marching band. I used to step. I did a lot of things growing up in Augusta.
Okay, so you left Augusta, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
and you came here to Morris Brown.
Morris Brown College.
Tell us about that experience.
Oh, what an experience.
The whole thing.
The whole thing, right? So I always wanted to be a member of the marching band.
Okay.
Morris Brown, right? And as soon as I came to Morris Brown College, about 3 to 4 months later, they lost its accreditation. So I had to actually transfer back to Augusta, and I ended up going to Payne College, right? And it was very heartbreaking for me because I wanted to be a part of the band. I love dancing. Dancing was my first love. Dancing still today is my first love. And, the rest is history. Once I left Atlanta in 2002, went back home, attended Payne College, graduated from Payne College, and then I came back to Atlanta in 2009.
Okay. So you got back here in Atlanta in 2009.
Got back to Atlanta, yes.
Okay. Now what? What happened when you came back?
So actually, when I came back to Atlanta, Georgia, I ended up going to college, Central Michigan University. I graduated with my master's degree in healthcare administration. And just once I graduated from college, I just noticed that it was very, very difficult and challenging for me to find my dream job, right? And that's when I started Living Well with Bell in 2014. I decided that I did not want to work a job. I wanted to actually start a business and to pursue my dream. And my dreams was to help people. Yes.
Okay. Well, let's go back. Your dream was to help people. Your dream was to help people, but you are particularly passionate, super passionate, uber passionate, ultra passionate, any word that you can put in front of passionate about helping Black women.
Definitely helping Black women. And if I would have worked a job after college, I would have been placed in one location. When it comes to me, I want to be global. I want to help the world, which is why I started my business.
Yeah.
Just graduating with my master's degree in healthcare administration, working at a hospital, I wanted to reach more people. And I knew that that wasn't happening if I was actually working with
Okay. I know you driven. I know
people.
you passionate. You always have a lot of energy. That's just who you are.
I love people.
But I want you to explain where that came from, because you let us know everything you got going on, but you didn't. I want you to let us know where you driving inspiration from.
Definitely. So when I was a little girl, I knew I had a gift. So I was always this type of person that always wanted to see people win. I don't know what it was about me. I knew I had that gift. And so when I found out that I had a gift, this is very, very at a young age, that's when I started to actually I wanted to go to college.
Yeah.
And then once I graduated from college, I wanted to go a little deeper as far as meeting people all over the world. I just knew that working somewhere just was not for me.
Yeah.
And that drive just came from coming from a household, helping my mom raise my brothers, going to school, seeing a lot of children that just couldn't do the things that they wanted to do. Even when I was in elementary school, middle and high school, my mom can only afford to buy us 2 pair of shoes a year. We couldn't really get all the finer things that I wanted in life because my mom had to raise 4 children. She was working overnight, working 2 and 3 jobs. So a lot of that motivated me to just want more in life.
Yeah.
Yes.
What do you think? What do you think at some point, you think about it for a second, what you think was a moment at any point, from being a child, middle school age, high school age, what do you think was that moment that clicked and be like, man, I'm destined for something greater? Like, I got to do something that make an impact.
Definitely. Just not really having a childhood. I wanted to do more things. I knew that I wanted to do something the moment that my mom was working all the time. I wanted to get my mom out the hood. And that pretty much motivated me. Wanted to see my mom do greater things, wanted to see myself do greater things, and also my brothers.
So you get to Atlanta, go to Morris Brown, you got
Morris Brown.
you got your degrees, your master's degrees. And I think it was a perfect segue into the business aspect of Shamika Bell Bennett. Right now, you are a huge, huge advocate of uh, women's wellness and womb wellness.
Correct.
Tell everybody about how you became passionate about womb wellness and helping women to get in shape, be healthier, and help them conceive.
Well, it all started where I was always sick all the time. And I mean sick. I had the flu 1 month, 3 months later, I have a cold. And I just knew that, growing up, people would tell us, it's normal to be sick. But I just wasn't going for that. So that's when I started doing my research on why do we always get sick all the time? And it came to the point in my life where I wanted better for myself, because I feel like when you're sick all the time, it's difficult to go to work. It's difficult to hang out. It's difficult to actually do anything because your health is literally the most important thing in your life. So when I started doing my research, I realized that the food was really tearing us down.
Yeah.
And that's when I told myself that instead of me knowing about how to help your body, I wanted to share with the world.
Okay.
So that's how Living Well with Bell came about. And then I found out that I had endometriosis in 2011. And that was just my breaking point. I knew right then and there, like, something has to happen. And I didn't want to go through something where somebody tell me that they can't do anything about it. I took advantage of doing my research. I took advantage of going to workshops, going to different conferences, and I wanted to find out how can I help myself first, and then how can I help other women.
All right, so tell her when you found out you had endometriosis, because I'm learning about this stuff now. Talk about how you felt. Talk about how you felt when you found out.
Definitely, when I found out that I had endometriosis, when I was diagnosed with endometriosis, I was heartbroken. And I was ashamed. I didn't know that anyone else knew about the womb chronic condition, because it is a chronic condition. Endometriosis can lead up to infertility, and I wanted children. And I just knew that I had to figure out how to make this thing work. I had to figure out how to help my body and then help other women because growing up, like I said, I have a gift of just wanting to see other people win.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I'm just born that way, I guess.
Yeah. So I help the fellas out real quick.
Yes,
Some may know, some may not. So what's the difference between endometriosis and fibroids? Like, how common is it?
Well, both are very common.
Yeah.
Endometriosis and fibroids, both are womb chronic conditions. But when it comes to endometriosis, it's difficult to diagnose.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the difference. Fibroids actually can go in, they can see that you have a lot of toxins going on in your body and different things going on in your body. Because when it comes to endometriosis, they have to actually go in to diagnose you to find out.
Yeah.
When it comes to fibroid, they can just find out about it.
Yeah.
Endometriosis, you actually have to go through some type of surgery to find out what stage that you have.
Really? So
Yes.
is this more common than what people I know? It's more common than what we know.
It's common, yes. Fibroids are common, infertility is common, PCOS is common. All types of things are common when it comes to it.
Let's say a woman's watching this right now and she have no idea. Let's say she may not be going to her OBGYN regularly, or she may be going or be having problems conceiving. She can't figure out why. So let them know some of the telltale signs, or if a lady's watching this right now, what she should be
Yes.
looking out for.
Yes, definitely. So when it comes to endometriosis, if you are having heavy bleeding, if you are having cycles that are irregular, if you are having painful sex, if you are having anything when it comes to back pain, or you having pain throughout your body, that you want to get checked, because that's not normal. Growing up, they told us a lot of these things are normal, but they are not normal. I suggest that you go and get checked right now. When you actually go see your OBGYN, your gynecologist, they're not going to tell you up front that you have endometriosis. They may have to do some type of surgery called laparoscopic surgery. So once you go with that surgery, I recommend that you don't go through that surgery, but that's the only way that they diagnose. What I recommend is that if you actually experiencing these type of symptoms, go ahead and change your lifestyle right now. Or click the link in my bio at living_well with Val.
I'm on like day 5. Hold on, what day is it? 1 and 2. This is my 5th day vegan. I'm challenging myself for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
But talk about your business. Let's say, hey, somebody sign up with you. What they getting with the Living Well with Bell package. Tell us about what you do.
Yeah, so when it comes to Living Well with Bell, I am an educator first. So pretty much with my program, I'm doing bi-weekly coaching, informing you on what you should do with your body when it comes to your mind, when it comes to your health, when it comes to you working out, and when it comes to you actually doing a lifestyle change. The number one thing when it comes to reversing anything or with helping your body is first changing your mindset, telling yourself that you can actually become better. Because what they taught us in school is that we have to depend on medicine. We have to depend on a diagnosis. But what I recommend is that you depend on a lifestyle change. The first thing that you do. And the first thing that I actually educate you on how to change your lifestyle.
Okay. All right. So obviously we know life and death is in the food we eat, right?
Yes.
It's in the food we eat. So
all comes down to the food.
Okay, so I mean, men and women, whatever, right? What type of adjustment should we be making to our diets? Obviously for men, because guys have fertility issues as well based upon what we eat. Talk about some of the food choices they should be making, some of the things they should cut out, some of the things they should be adding to their diet, to help their overall well-being.
So when it comes to a male, female as well, they taught us that breakfast was like the most important meal of the day. Breakfast is not the most important meal of the day. Just eating all these pancakes, eating, sausages, just the food that we grew up on. I recommend that you change your lifestyle right now and to actually switch over to fruit, because a lot of people do not know that fruit is a meal. Yeah. And fruit is also one of the most powerful foods on this earth today that we were not educated on. We was educated to eat biscuits every morning, eat eggs every morning. There's so many things that we can do to just change our mindset and to understand that we don't have to depend on the traditional type of foods. That tradition is what got us where we at today. It's the wrong tradition.
It is.
It's the wrong tradition.
All
I'm going to go ahead and just keep it real with you. Yeah.
Let me step on some toes real quick. What about, and we talk about women's wellness, so it's not just I'm getting on the ladies, but what about my homegirls that want to go to brunch, the mimosas, the drinks, the hookah? Is that a good thing for them? or is it something they should? How should they handle that? 'Cause we talk about it all the time,
Yes.
but I guess not joking, but let them know how those things can be potentially hazardous as they try to, they try to conceive or for the, the health for the, their female health.
Yes, yes. So, what we did not know is that everything starts in the womb. And what I mean by the womb is when your mother was actually pregnant with you. So, everything that you're eating now, everything that you ate when you were in elementary school, middle school, what your mom ate when she actually was pregnant with you, all of that contributes to when you want to conceive. So, a lot of people don't know that what you're eating actually builds up. It can
Yeah.
be the good thing or a bad thing. So everything that I ate when I was in high school, guys, just to kind of go backwards. I used to eat two to three bacon sandwiches a day. This was in high school. I did not know that bread was bad because they said that bread was a part of the five food
Yeah.
group. So I'm thinking, bread is okay. Now I did know pork was bad for you, but I didn't know,
The
just
extent, huh?
yeah, I didn't know the extent of bacon back in the day. Mind you, I'm in high school. All of those things was affecting my womb. And I didn't understand that back then when I was having painful cramps, that pork was contributing to
Yeah.
the painful cramps, the heavy bleeding. This was in high school. I was 16 years old, crawling to the bathroom floor. So yes, everything that you're doing now can affect your womb if you want to have children. Even if you don't want to have children, it can cause your hormones to be imbalanced. And when your hormones is imbalanced, everything is thrown off your mind, your body, your thoughts. It's difficult to find your purpose when your hormones are thrown off. So I recommend that you change your lifestyle right now.
Yeah.
And if you do want to go to brunch with your friends, I recommend do it in moderation. I no longer even go out to eat like that anymore because I feel like it could affect your womb. So I go in moderation. I don't go every day. And I used to be a server at Olive Garden. When I tell you a lot of those things as well, when I ate when I was on a job, affected my womb today. Processed food is one of the number one ways to cause infertility, endometriosis, fibroids, PCOS, all of it.
Yeah.
Processed food.
Now, I was
Mhm.
joking earlier, but we ain't hit on it. Alcohol, tobacco,
Yes.
you hit on the food. Like this, what I'm saying, when people go out, so whether it's at brunch or you go to a club or you at a lounge at
You
night,
do it moderation.
that is like, I know you should do it in moderation, but I want you to talk about the effects of it because it's something that people do casually, People have hour-long, 2-hour-long hookah sessions and they don't think about it. Or, they drink happy hours all the time and they don't think about it. I want you to talk about the effect of that um, on a woman's ability to conceive, how it could be damaging.
Yes, it's very damaging. Alcohol, hookah, all of that. Popping pills, anything that you actually put in your body that does not have an expiration date, because the foods that we eat, they are supposed to be living foods, right? So when you're putting things in your body and you're doing it over and over and over again, you're damaging your body. And what a lot of women don't understand is that when you start at 21 years old, matter of fact, let me go back to college, right? And I didn't drink in college, but a lot of women that I know, they started their drinking in college and they think it's cool. A lot of things that they think is cool, it's not cool when it's time to conceive. It's not cool when you're having painful cramps, when you diagnosed with any type of condition or, high blood pressure. It's not cool because it started when you were in high school. It started when you were in college, and it just builds up and it builds up. And then you look back and tell yourself, like, how did this happen to me?
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, it happens from 5, 10, 20 years ago. It becomes a buildup. Yeah.
And I dare I say people trying to have children when they quote unquote high risk now.
Yes.
Medically high risk. You can't put a cap on what God can do, but medically we waiting later. So how much more conscious should they be about those things now that that they're trying to have kids later?
Yes. Actually, Lawrence, I'm going to go backwards a little bit. Women are actually having more miscarriages in their 20s now.
For
They're
real?
not even waiting until they turn 35. I've met so many women, 22, 23, having miscarriages because of the food, because of the alcohol, and because of, they're doing things that's damaging their body at a young age. Because even though women start in college, Now, the new generation, they'll start even in high school now.
Yeah.
So by the time they turn 22, 23, 24, and they want to conceive,
They already having issues
yes,
already.
already having issues, because I want the younger generation to understand this, that things that you're doing to your body, you may tell yourself, I have to I become 50, 60 years old. No, you don't. Those things can sneak up on you. Growing up, we think that we have our whole life to live. We think that, about time we turn 50 or 60 or 70 years old, things start to happen to you. No, there are people with diabetes at age 18. People are on medicine earlier now, because the things that we're doing to our bodies
Yeah.
is actually can affect you. It does not matter what age that you are. It can happen at 30. It can happen at 21. It can happen at 25. So I would say start taking care of your body now. And that's one reason why I started Mommy and Me Fitness, because I want to educate the children now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, we're gonna get them. I want to ask you one more thing. So talk about some of the stuff that you and she's married. Her husband's name is Chris. That's my brother, Big Yo. Shout out.
Yeah.
So talk about some of the tactics what you and Chris did as y'all got ready to conceive, what y'all did diet wise and health wise to prep both of y'all bodies, to get ready to
Conceive.
conceive
Yes.
to have Cairo.
Yes, yes. So definitely, when Chris reached out to me, he was like, I want to marry you. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. And I haven't seen Chris in about 5 years, right? Even though Chris and I grew up with each other, it's been a while since I've seen him. About 4 or 5 years. So actually, I mentioned to Chris, have you ever cleansed your body before? Because I was a fitness trainer, I was a nutritionist coach. I was doing my thing in the health and wellness industry. But Chris was not, doing what I was doing. He wasn't living that lifestyle that I was doing. So, I talked to Chris about cleansing his body, because once we actually conceive, it's a possibility that I have a healthy pregnancy. I go all the way up to 39, 40 weeks. And I wanted to Chris to understand that the men's sperm can make or break you as well. And a lot of people don't understand that.
Elaborate on cleanse your body. You talking about food, you talking about detoxing, you talking about fasting. What you mean by cleanse your body?
All of it. Cleansing, detoxing, fasting, all of that, because the men's sperm makes up everything that they have in their body as well. What they drink, the alcohol, the way they think, the people that they surround themselves with, all of that comes down to what type of child you will have.
Yeah.
Seriously, it's very, very important for the man to as well take care of their body, because a lot of pressure is on the woman. But a lot of pressure was not on the man. But I want to say here today on this podcast that when it comes to the male, you should also take care of your body, because what you do can impact the woman's womb and pregnancy.
Okay. All right. Let's give them a little sneak peek of this easy weasy bit of your plan. So ladies, definitely,
Yes.
definitely. All the information gonna be at the bottom of the screen at the end of the podcast. It's already at the beginning. They sign on with you, what they gonna get?
Definitely going to get coaching. You're going to get my number one product that I love, which is the 7-day body reset. The reason why I introduce my clients into the 7-day body reset is because it's introducing you slowly into a program that letting you know that if I can do 7 days,
Yeah.
I can go 3 months. I can go for a lifestyle. And it's very difficult when a new client join the program and they've never done it before.
Right.
It's like foreign language to that person, which is why I have them start out with 7 days. And then I actually do bi-weekly coaching, educating them on what type of steps to take to actually reverse anything that's going on in their
Why
body.
do you think it's so hard to sell people fitness and just healthy eating?
I
Is it because it take work and discipline? It's not fun. You think that the food don't taste good or what? What is
I
it?
think that it's very difficult actually when it comes to fitness and lifestyle, because money is not attached to it. And in the world, it's the type of world that we live in right now. Everything have to be attached to finances,
Yeah.
for money or credit.
Yeah.
But when it comes to your health, I'm letting you know that your health is priceless. Actually, it's the most important thing in this world. And when it comes to going to a concert or watching TV or just anything to please them, I feel like they don't hesitate. But when it comes to health and fitness, it's not a good feeling to once you complete it. But actually, when you actually going through watching TV or buying shoes or, drinking and smoking, you feel the effect at
Right
that
now.
moment. But when it comes to health and fitness, you feel that moment.
Later,
You
you
feel
feel
that
later.
later,
Yeah.
later down the line. So I think a lot of people, they want that. They want instant results.
Yeah.
They want those microwave results. And when it comes to taking care of your body, it's not microwave results.
Yeah, it ain't.
You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of that comes down to when it comes to health and fitness, it's very difficult to sell. You have to love yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you brought up Mommy and Me. Tell everybody about the you just held a fitness class right outside the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the Home Depot backyard.
Yeah.
Tell us about the class. Tell us about how you got, tell us about how you got invited back and you know what I'm saying? Everybody came out, supported you, and you had a big turnout. Triple from the first time.
Yeah. So when it actually comes down to Mommy and Me, when I got pregnant with Cairo Bella, I thought about it. At that time, I was 7 months pregnant. It's like, wow, just living in Atlanta, Georgia, I don't really see a lot of Mommy and Me communities where the mom and the child can come out, they can become fit, get healthy, and bond at the same time. Because when it comes to a mother, she's always working, or the dad, they're always working. They don't have time to really teach their child about health.
Yeah.
So that's when I come in at by actually starting to teach classes on Mommy and Me, where I can come in and to teach that child and to actually teach their mother, teach the mother and father as well. Because I'm actually going to be introducing Father and Me classes as well during Father's Day weekend.
Okay, he just got invited. We're going to get H-Town with it next time, right?
Yeah.
Going to Houston?
Yes, we
Are
definitely
you excited about when you got the call about that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what's up?
Yeah, I reached out to him. So it's
You
a
reached
guy.
out?
Yes, I reached out to him. He has a big audience down in Houston.
Okay.
And why not collaborate? Why not take this thing global?
Y'all set a date yet?
We haven't set a date
Ain't
yet.
set a date yet?
Yes.
Living well with Bell ain't really just, it's not just focused on food and health. You like to focus on the mind.
Yes.
So, which is probably the most important part to living well. For the ladies, just these are conversations we have all the time, especially, we get together on the Zenith Club calls, the ladies only calls, or whether it be the joint call. You like to focus on, all women, I'm saying all women, Black women, knowing their purpose and who they are, that they not what's being depicted on, on trash TV shows, on social media, knowing who God made them to be, what they can achieve by themselves and with a man by their side. So this really, the floor is yours. 'Cause I know we can go. I'm just gonna sit back and listen because this your thing right here.
Yes, yes, yes. So when it comes to a woman, I see now that a lot of women are looking for their identity on social media or looking for their identity what other people say who they should be. But actually your identity and who you are comes from God. When it comes to a woman, we are more than just a piece of pussy, right? We are more than just what's between our legs. And a lot of women don't understand that. A lot of women think that they have to just put on some type of disguise and try to be other people when actually you're special with who you are. Like you are special. And a lot of women don't understand that. They don't understand that we are the most powerful asset in this world. We're the most powerful creature in this world.
That is true. I say that because, biblically, so a man's blessings become tenfold when he find a wife. And it's not just everybody know the cliche scripture, he will find a wife, find a good thing, but it's the reasons why. Like, if you look in Proverbs 31, you see that all of the attributes of that lady had, man, she was a beast. Like she had it all down packed, like in every aspect. And that person is most definitely an asset, not only to herself, but to the world, to the community, and definitely to her husband and kids that she had one. The statistics say that, the majority of us are growing up without a father in the home. And what I know, our identities come from God first and the fathers instilling that, to their family.
Correct.
So obviously that creates another problem with, mom had to be, having to play dual roles, survival mode comes into play and all the things that come with that. So let's just say a young lady doesn't have the ideal upbringing. Doesn't have the ideal foundation. What are some of the steps that she can take to get back on track, to find her tribe and to become the woman that, that she deserved the right to become and that she should be.
Definitely. So when it comes to you, you want us to find yourself. When it comes to you want us to find your tribe, your purpose, the first thing that I would do is read the book called Strength Finders. One of my favorite books. Also, I recommend that you find some type of mentor. If you did not have the father in your home, if you did not, grow up in a household that you felt like, was the right way, don't give up. Start with finding a mentor, reading books, joining some type of different organization that focus on the woman. Join different types of women organizations because you will find your identity around other people who are driven as you. When it came to me, and when it came to me finding my identity, when it came to me finding who I wanted to be, who God put me on earth to be, it started with mentorship. It
Yeah.
started with finding those different tribes. It started with knowing who I am and also reading the word. Starting with God, because when God put us here, He put women here for a purpose way beyond your career. It goes deeper than, it goes deeper than living well with Bill, mommy and me, womb wellness. Just being a mom, we are nurturers. Being a woman, we are nurturers. And when it comes to that, it's priceless. A lot of people think that we as women, we have to be here and we have to be so independent. Well, we have to make all of this money. But a lot of times when women making all that money, they're not happy. I have met so many women who tell me that they cannot even smile because they don't know themselves. And if you're making money and it's not within your purpose, you're going to become miserable. So you have to find your purpose and then the money comes.
Sometimes, it's like some of us, the programming that, that we get through the media, some of the shows, the imagery, the characters that's on some of the shows and movies that we watch. I'm going to say, speaking from my standpoint, it almost seems as if they're projecting that you can only be successful one way. Either you a career woman, statistically, y'all are, kicking our ass when it comes to being educated and starting businesses and stuff like that. That's what the numbers say. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Either you can do that, you can be a career woman, you can be successful, you can make money, but you can't be successful at the other stuff. Or either you just gonna be a wife, have a family, and you can't do the other things. But like you said, if you read Proverbs 31, because most women will tell you, every woman know the verse, he will find a wife, find a good thing. But if you look at those scriptures, look at those verses in that chapter, it displays that she was able to do a multitude of things. But they showing us that you can only do one thing. Why do you think that is?
We're just put here in their eyes to actually focus on things that makes us happy partially.
Yeah.
When it comes to actually being happy all over, it's not possible in their eyes. But I'm telling you, it's possible.
Yeah.
It's just the way that we're programmed. Like even when it comes to a man, if a broke man, love a woman, he's not allowed to actually give her nice things too. He can just love her. But if a man who's successful giving a woman all these things, then he's not allowed to love her. And that's just the way that we were programmed. But I'm telling you right now, broke, rich, or whatever, you can have everything. Woman, you can do multiple things. You can become a mompreneur, a wife. You can be loved. You can do it all. Do not let society, tell you what you can have. It comes down to society.
Yeah.
And people, they fall in that trap. Don't fall in that trap.
Yeah. What type of things did you do to, let's say, flip the switch? So like you said, you mentioned that you had, you had you mentioned that you had to take care of your brothers. Your mom had to work a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But now, listen to what you're saying now. Your wife's an awesome husband. Your mom, your relationship is very much so functional. Y'all a team. It's actually refreshing, a breath of fresh air in this world.
Thank you.
What are some of the things that you had to do to make that switch from the survival mindset to the functional mindset you have now? Because I think that's this the way I grew up, this is who I am. It's a huge thing that people say on both sides. It's something that people always say. They had to sometimes get a lot of counseling to get through that. What are some of the things that you did just to personalize it for a young lady that might be watching right now? What are some of the things that helped you get out of the survival mindset to the mindset where you are now?
I'm going to go ahead and be honest with you. Definitely working at the Marriott. You
Yeah.
know, your tribe and the people that you surround yourself, even if it's not your tribe, just who you surround yourself around at that moment, it can actually change your life. And just working at the Marriott, where I met Mario at, I feel like when I saw those people walk through the doors, they were living their best lives. They were living in freedom. And they were doing what they wanted to do. That's the kind of life that I wanted, but I didn't know it was possible. And it comes to just being programmed. I had to unlearn to relearn.
Yeah.
And a lot of things that society taught us, they taught us to just work the 9 to 5 job, go home, and start back over. So when I saw other people, living their life on their own terms, I was like, wow, I can do it too. So it just kind of comes down to just making up my mind and telling myself that I can do it too. And I'm not going to listen to society.
All right.
Yes.
Man, so let me get a little personal real quick. Not real
Okay.
personal, but like, okay, so I know like just from knowing y'all,
Yes.
like let's say after Chris proposed and y'all about to get married right before y'all, it's about to get married. It's like that final measure process when you come together.
Yes.
You was a little bit apprehensive about what I'm saying, about the like, just the total moving process. I'm sure some of that in the past might have been just some of that, some of what you grew up some of what you grew up with trying to come out. But it always happens like that when you get to the final step. Like right before when you about to cross the finish line, it's like, the devil got that last minute he throwing a Hail Mary pass of,
Yes.
confusion, trauma, whatever it is that can get you to not take that step. That's when he comes. So if a lady or a fella is trying to break out of that, they're right there at the edge of their blessing. They're right there, making the switch of breaking that generational curse or eliminating that generational ignorance or canceling out an iniquity, which, might be a trait from something that somebody in their family, generation before that's been passed down to them. Right when they're about to break that, there's that moment like I'm holding on to it. Like when you had that moment, like what did you do? What did you say to yourself? Or how did you work through it?
So definitely when it came to me actually transitioning to
Yeah.
engagement, marriage, it wasn't easy at all because I had been single for so long and I didn't see a successful marriage going on. My mom wasn't married when I was a child. Like my mom got married when I graduated from high school, when I went out to college. I didn't know what a wife was. So, I was nervous, of course. And I wanted my future to be great, and I know that two is better than one. So it comes down to a woman is watching it. It comes down to what you want your future to look like. Do you want to do things by yourself? Do you have a man who wants to marry you and you feel like, he's going to lead you properly? He's a man of God. If you have that person in your life right now, I say go for it and don't be fearful. Even if you tell yourself, I didn't see that growing up. That's not an excuse to not do it because God didn't put fear in us, right? So I feel like go ahead and just go for it, believe in yourself, and you know what's best for you. Don't listen to your friends. If you're not around people who want the best for you, they're not for you. Go for what you want to be.
You you hear a lot of people talking about, this, because long-term relationships or marriage, they work, but it's service. Like, both two people serving each other for the greater good to become better. Let the ladies know, whether they married, they might need some assistance, or they single and they trying to contemplate if it's worth it, even because many of us haven't seen it. Man, let's let them know the benefits of being married, how, your life is different.
So if you're thinking about getting married or if you're thinking about getting engaged, so many benefits to it. Society want us to do everything alone. And I have met so many single women, even though they're doing it, it's not easy. And you don't want to live a life where people are telling you that you can do it. Ask yourself, can you do it? So many benefits. You want to create a legacy for you and your children. So once you pass things down to your children, you want to make it easier for them. You don't want your child to go through the same exact thing that you went through because living a hard life does not always make things better. Living a good life when you have a team can also be good. They told us that living that hard life was the best thing, but I'm telling you right now, it's not. It's nothing wrong with having someone to be there for you and to also have someone there for you to support you and to believe in you. That makes things much easier. So many benefits.
Okay.
Mhm.
Now you about to bundle all of that stuff, everything we talked about as far as the health, wellness, and just the mindset of a woman. You want to make a conference.
Yes. So I am right now actually working on a women's conference. And I want to tell women, as I stated earlier in the podcast, that women are more than just a piece of pussy. They told us that women are just, we're here for our bodies and for sex. I know sex sells, but that's not why we are here, right? We are here to nurture. We are here to uplift people. We are here to just be creative. We are here to conceive, to create. We are the closest thing to God. So I want women to understand that when you were put here on this earth, God didn't put you here to waste any time. So if you are 15, 16, 20, 30 years old, go ahead and use that time while you can, because you're going to be 50, 60, 70 years old and life has passed you by. And then you're going to look back like, wow, I have not done anything. Each and every day that you wake up, I want you to take that time to take yourself forward. That's by reading books, surrounding yourself around the right people, surrounding yourself around people who know God and who want the best for you. Because if you don't, your time's going to pass you by. And you're going to look back like, wow, what did I do? And I don't want you to have any regrets. And the people that you surround yourself with, take a look at their life. If you don't want their life, don't take advice for them. This is what I did. Anytime someone hold me accountable, you cannot hold me accountable if you're not doing those type of things. The only way you can hold me accountable is if you actually guide me in the right direction, right? If you want to surround yourself around someone every single day or every week or on the phone with them for hours, make sure they're taking your life forward. This goes for family. This goes for friends. This goes for anyone who, is in your sorority, your fraternity. If they're not pouring into you, and if you don't want their life, meaning that if they're not actually doing things that's going to take you to the next level, switch circles. Yes, I'm talking about family too. Switch circles now, because your life is for you. It's not for them.
Well, that's a wrap. That's another episode of the Xena podcast. Man, definitely some gems drop. Sis, I got a ton of respect. Like the way you think, I think it's a breath of fresh air and a word that people needed to hear in every aspect, from being healthy, not only mentally, but physically, emotionally, and spiritually, just being full. That's the definition of living well with Bell, right?
Yes, and definitely just
Yeah.
like, after I reversed my endometriosis, that really changed my life too. And it made me feel like I can do anything in the world.
Yeah.
Once you overcome one obstacle, you can
You can
overcome many.
overcome.
Yes.
Well, one more time, let everybody know where they can contact you at on social media.
Yes.
Drop it here.
So go to Facebook, go follow Living Well with Bell, LIVINGWELL with Bell. Go to my Instagram, living_well with Bell. And also go follow Mommy Me Fitness at MOMMIEME Fitness.
All right.
See you soon.
What month we gonna be looking for the conference?
August 2023.
August 2023.
Yes. Yep. Women's conference. A woman, guys, we are more than just our body. We're more than sex. We are the most powerful creature on this earth.
There we go.
Yeah.
See the podcast. We out.